All right, so we're recording, right? So we are here for the policy meeting on Wednesday, October 5th, 2022. It is 5:08. I call this meeting to order. Moira Bashaw is excused absent today. In attendance is Jim Baker and Mr. Ambrose. And would they have an action on the minutes?
Move to approve.
Can I second?
Yeah, it's okay.
Second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
All right, so we have 5 policies to review. The first one is EBB, school safety.
Can I just say one of the policies we need to table because we have a question about it?
Which one?
The criminal background check.
Okay,
Diana and I tried to reach someone to get an answer to some questions and we couldn't get it, so we wanted to wait on that one.
okay.
So we're not doing these in the order on the agenda then?
No, I was just asking to table that one.
No, I'm just talking about the first one we did was,
It's school safety.
school safety, and I've got cell phones as the first one.
Oh, that's the old agenda from last time.
Oh, okay, all right, I'm looking at the wrong one, sorry.
That's okay. I thought I'm going in order.
10-5. Oh, that's the school board. Must have to go on the unread column because I read it.
I love technology.
Okay, here we go. All right.
So Tom, the updates on why this policy is this being updated due to a law change, or was this being updated just because we're going through the policy?
Thank you. We get every fall and spring, we get a manual from the NHSBA, and it has policy recommended updates based on law changes. So it's both.
Okay,
And in that manual, they tell us priority, and do it right now, recommended or optional. And we always do the priority first. So these policies are priority level.
okay. Jim, any questions or discussion?
On the first one?
Yes,
No.
on school
No.
safety.
No.
Tom, anything we need to be aware of?
No, I think sorry,
It's okay.
I'm trying to open it here. If you don't have any questions, most of the changes are generally just legally based. So the NHSBA takes the law, they turn the law into usable, practicable language for staff, and then they put it into policy. So that's what it's in. Was there anything in there that you think we should talk about? Heather,
It's about school safety, so I read it and it seemed fine when I read it earlier, but I just want to make sure there wasn't anything that I missed, like any language. Because a lot of it refers to our other policies.
Right, exactly. So there are policies that are linked, and Phyllis checks those when she creates the draft.
Okay. All right, well, I have no further questions or discussion. Would we like to move this for first and second read or just first read?
First read's fine, we can do the normal process.
Yeah,
First read.
I'll move to approve for first read.
Second. So we will move this to the next one. The next one, 3.2 is EBBD, indoor air quality and water quality.
I asked Matt and Dan to do that. They said, okay.
I have a comment about the sentence. Under A, the last paragraph, it says, in support of this policy, the superintendent is authorized to establish regulations and or administrative rules necessary to implement anti-idling,
What?
idling, IDLING,
It's just that.
and clear air measures aimed at improving indoor air quality.
Okay.
So improving indoor air quality, that's so open-ended. I think it should see air measures aimed at complying with state standards or something like that.
Yeah, it's a great question. Let's ask Matt when he's here.
Okay.
He just walked in.
Hello,
Hi.
Mr.
Sorry,
Ansel.
good timing. We were just talking about the air quality policy.
Yes.
And Jim had a question about, no, sorry.
Section
Yeah,
A.
It says, to implement anti-idling, which I don't know. what that-
Idling.
Idling, okay. And clear air measures aimed at improving air indoor quality.
Yes.
So, or indoor air quality. So improving air indoor quality, that's very, very open-ended. So I was thinking that we should qualify that by saying something like maintain or, to be compatible with state standards of indoor air quality.
I think what they're trying to get to there would be like the situation at Memorial where the parents light up beside the building. Right next to them are the air intakes for the individual classrooms.
Yeah, I read
So
that
they're
whole thing
drawing
about
in,
pollution. Yeah.
right, so you wanna, instead of saying idling, you wanna tie it to a state.
No, idling's fine.
Oh, okay,
Idling's fine, but say air measures aimed at improving indoor air quality. I mean, that's pretty meaningless.
I think what they're trying to say is to put in a rule that, or put up a sign there saying, you know, if you're sitting there for more than X amount of time, to not idle. So it's kind of, it's more of an active measure on our part.
Yeah, but that's an interpretation.
Mhm.
There is already a sign there at Memorial that you can't idle.
Okay,
And, I mean, this could be interpreted to say, okay, some group has come up with a filter or scrubber or something
yeah,
that improves, and it's been shown, this is an extreme example.
yeah, yeah,
It's been shown that it improves the academic results of 2 out of 10 kids, 1/62nd of a percent.
okay,
And based on that, we'd be obligated to implement
okay. Yeah,
it. Yeah,
So which one were you recommending, Jim?
I always said to meet state standards. Aimed at meeting state standards, or
Well, you want-
complying with,
yeah, because complying could mean meet or exceed.
right?
Okay,
So clear air measures aimed at
Complying
complying in the indoor air quality
with per state
per
standards.
state standards.
I think that's fine.
Okay,
If you want to suggest that change, I can have Heather email it to me and then I can check with Will Phillips just to make sure we're not doing
yeah,
something weird, but you can
Yeah.
approve the policy with that change
right.
pending confirmation from the NHSBA or whatever, Jim, you know,
Okay.
we usually do with these things.
So moved.
Just want to make sure I have this right. Clear air measures aimed at complying with state standards.
Yeah,
air quality standards.
air qualities, indoor air qualities.
Yes.
Alright. So would you like to make a motion to move this policy to first read with that change in?
Yes,
I will second.
subject to review by Will Phillips.
Our next policy is EHAB, data
Do we need to
governance.
vote on it,
Oh my God,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you need to vote, yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Would we, all in favor?
or- Yes,
Thanks, Jim.
Yep.
Now, third, EHAB, data governance and security, and this is a new policy.
So this is really kind of like the start of the Gordon policy fiesta.
Mhm.
It's going to be wild because Gordon has been working on this all summer.
okay,
So if you remember right before the pandemic, we had a company do an audit of our security based on the new law.
yeah.
We,
That's when the forwarding had to stop, was that?
oh yeah, that was one part of it. That's just one little piece. So Gordon has like 18 policies that need to come in, and this kind of says, this is one little piece of it. right? Like you've got your, um, the definitions, so confidential data and information, critical data and information, cybersecurity incidents. It gives us that we have to have a governance plan, right?
Okay.
And I think that the district information security officer, ISO, see paragraph C below, that's Gordon, right? I mean, it's just a fancy way of saying the tech director is gonna really take the lead on this so I would appoint him to take the lead on this, and that's what I would do. It's just important for everyone to know that these are all, based on, when Heather asked earlier about the first policy, what is the stuff you wanna know? Why is this like this? Why are we doing a new one? This is a new, it's an updated law that's really important, and it really is based on the concept, and I'm saying this for the public that may watch this video, which I'm sure they don't, but even if anyone does, I want them all to know that we have a lot of information that's digital now.
Mhm.
You remember when we were kids, you'd go into school and
My
file
only
cabinets?
question is, and this just came to me,
Yeah,
are there any conflicts between this and right to know?
I would assume not, because attorneys have vetted these things.
Okay.
But can I say that new laws have been tested in a court when they come in conflict with one another? I've not been notified of any conflicts.
Right,
I can't promise you that there won't be though.
yeah, right.
There's a difference between right to know and data security, in the sense that I think of data security as information that is sensitive about students or staff.
Well, this is more like FERPA, right?
FERPA,
HIPAA.
well, we don't do
I
HIPAA,
know,
but
not
yeah,
HIPAA, but-
medical information, addresses, contact information, grades, all the things that special education forms, certain finance information for the district, stuff that people can't get, shouldn't be able to get.
Okay,
There's a difference between that and.
so
you know,
stuff that is statutorily would be considered
Right.
private, right?
Yeah.
Confidential.
Like, I'm not gonna give you social security numbers.
Exactly, right to know requests or not, right?
You'll never get that on.
Insurance elections. We talked about that, right? People's individual insurance elections.
Okay, I don't have any issues on.
Okay.
The assistant director of technology.
Yeah, we don't have one.
Okay.
So thank you. That was really good. I actually forgot to bring that up. We'll have to figure out internally who we're gonna have in that spot in the policy.
So you're gonna
it'll probably be
identify
Dan.
the position that we already have.
It'll probably be Dan. He's not
Okay.
technically the assistant, but he's kind of Gordon's
Senior.
right-hand
Yeah.
person, you know?
Okay.
It could also be Matt. I mean, it just needs to be somebody in the district that if Gordon's out sick
Who is
and there's a
the-
problem, we know
Yeah.
who to go to.
So you don't put their name in here, you put their position, right?
Yeah, and we'll probably just put Dan's position, not Dan Doyle, Dan,
Right,
McClellan, thank you.
yeah.
Okay, would we like to make a motion to move this for first read?
Yeah, I'll let you move
Okay, I'll move it to first read.
it. Second,
All right, any discussion?
no,
All right, all in favor?
aye.
All right. Okay, the next one is EHB, data records retention, which if I read this correctly, this matches with that one.
Yeah, they're linked. Yeah. Again, this is the beginning of the deluge of technology policies. We can have Gordon start to get them ready starting next month, Matt. And Phyllis has a bunch too. We may need to sneak in an extra policy meeting because we've got Gordon's policies, and then Phyllis has a whole bunch from the spring and fall updates, so.
And I got a bunch.
If we have to squeeze in one, could we do it via Zoom?
No, you
No?
can't anymore, the law's changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but tonight's not gonna go, like, I told Phyllis to give us 5, we could have done 10 tonight.
Okay.
So as long as everyone reads them ahead of time and shoots me questions, we could do 15 in one night.
Okay.
I just, I need Jim to actually email me ahead of time, because he always surprises me with good questions, so if you can shoot them to me in advance,
Well,
Jim.
that one about the right to know just occurred to me as we were talking.
Yeah, no, I'm being funny, Jim, I just know you.
Okay.
You always ask great questions. But if we
Um,
can, it will expedite it if you guys, if I get them to you ahead, the process we use is Phyllis does the draft for me, I read it, then I send it to the admins and have them read it.
Yeah.
And then we send it to you and have you read it, so that it's already been vetted by the people that have to implement it.
Okay.
So that we don't have to go backwards. Remember, Jim, early on, we figured out it was way better to have the principals read it first.
Yeah.
So we can do a lot in one night. We may not need another meeting, but just know that the pace might pick up.
Okay,
You
that's,
do it as a consent agenda.
You could do a consent agenda.
So Heather, we need to slow this down a little bit.
I know. So my next question is, so it's data records, retention and destruction. Is this a new part? Have we have we had a policy for destructing?
Yeah, we have, and that's not totally new. So there are laws and guidance for how long we need to maintain certain records, and it depends on the nature of the record.
Okay.
Some are employment records, some are, for example, we have to keep certain special education records for a certain period of time after students graduate, and that might be different than a transcript. So this is just updating all of that for records retention.
And these are based on statutes, I
They are.
assume?
They are all based on statutes. In fact, it starts off, if you look at the beginning, it says, what the RSA is. Did you see that? Priority required by law. This was the one policy that I knew we had to do it right away, because we have to follow that.
Mhm. And then this also, it looks like it's related to right to know law as well.
It is.
Mhm. Oh, that's till 20 to 30, huh?
It's a long time, some of the stuff. And granted, it's not like it used to be where we had to have 5 rooms to store like all the filing cabinets.
Right.
It's a lot better in terms of physical management, because it's mostly digital now.
Mhm.
I don't have any questions.
I think either. I'll make a motion to move to first read.
Second?
Any further discussion?
Hmm.
All in favor?
Yes.
Me too.
And the last one is on hold.
Yeah, I just gotta double check a couple things. I'll get back to you on that, okay?
Okay. Anything else we need to discuss for policy? Okay. Our next meeting will be November 2nd at 5 o'clock. I call this meeting adjourned at 5:25.
All right.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
We stop this.
come back with more stuff. I just adjourned.
140